Thank you for attending today's Hofstra men's lacrosse post-game press conference with head coach Seth Tierney and graduate student defenseman Brian McIntosh. Before we open the floor to questions, Coach, give us your thoughts following the win over St. John's.
Yeah, I don't know if this thing's on. It doesn't really matter. It's always good to win. I think 48 hours ago we were all sitting here, and the outcome wasn't what we wanted. We were winning after 3 quarters, and then we had a horrific 4th quarter. So we put an emphasis on it, and today, we tied in the 2nd quarter. I thought we had a lapse. BMAC here, was in on it. He knows almost, he's only been with us for technically a couple of months, and there's times where we just look at each other and we can talk without speaking, and he started to push out a little bit, and he's capable of doing that. We gave up 2 goals off the ground in that 2nd quarter, which made it 8-6, and those things can't happen, right? So I am still angry over Friday, and we gotta start taking things much more serious. I'm still, not thrilled with the turnovers. We got to get some of these injured guys back, and I don't know when they're going to be back. But I love our guys, and we just got to get back to work. I want to thank all 3 teams. Congrats to Stony Brook for winning the Long Island Cup. Thank you to LIU and to St. John's. I just spoke to Jason Miller. This was his idea. Give credit where credit's due, and then we, with a little bit of power on this end, the administration did a great job of doing it on a very, very tough weekend with a lot of Hofstra sports. So I want to make sure I thank them as well, and thank everybody else. We'll see where the future of this event goes with Stony Brook coming into the CAA. I don't know exactly if we're going to be able to continue to do this, but we'll connect again over the summer and see what we can do. Questions?
Questions.
Coach, for Brian Herbert, who's been a little bit banged up this season, has struggled in the face-off circle. How does it feel to have him play a full game and play as well as he did, having an assist?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Brian Herbert, just like every guy that is a 5th-year guy, you're going to ask Brian McIntosh questions as well. That 5th year is, it's an interesting decision. If you're out of college, everybody goes, yeah, you're taking a 5th year, right? What's the rush to go into the real world? Take the 5th year. When you're in college, after 4 years, you start to think about, did I have enough? And is it time for me to go to the real world? Well, Brian Herbert, he makes a decision to come back, and he knows it's been a little bit of a struggle. He's a fabulous face-off guy. We love him to death. He's a captain of our team, and today it was it was a good matchup for him. He got out in front of it, and we rode him all the way. We're just trying to just get him out of what he was in, and we just got to help him. So I'm thrilled for him.
This question is over to Brian. Brian, you're coming in as a graduate transfer. What leadership skills or ways have you been trying to lead the team, especially with all the experience that you have?
Yeah, I think definitely having all the experience at Mount St. Mary's over the past 4 years, and coming here, I have a ton of experience within games, so I've seen it all. I've played against all CAA teams and stuff like that, so I think being a former captain and the leadership that I bring to the team is a big thing on the defensive end, and holding everyone together, communicating and stuff like that. So I think that having all that experience really helps.
And this is a question for both Coach and Brian. What does it say about the heart of your team to go down or to go into halftime with a little bit of the momentum lost as St. John's picks up those quick 2 goals going into halftime, but then you come out in the 2nd half and have your best defensive half of the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to allow you guys into the locker room at halftime, right? I'm not letting you in. It was spirited, right? And they needed to know that those last 2 goals, instead of 8-6, it was our fault. It was 8-6. It could have been our plays to keep it 8-4, and we were upset. We were upset because we know a 2-goal game going into the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. We saw what happened the other night, right? And we felt like we just couldn't do it. A credit to Coach Gorman, a credit to the defense. I thought we did a good job of flipping in and out of zone at a certain time. Their shooter, Huber, 44. Reback was, we were sharing him. He wasn't on him, but Timmy Hegarty was on him, and we didn't stray far from him, so we tried to get to his hands. A talented guy. He had 5 goals the other night, and I thought we did a good job of reading it. We let a few in that I'd like to have back. I think Mac would like to have 1 or 2 back, but he's playing okay. And now we go on the road with a pretty young, banged up team. First time going on a road, so I don't know what we're gonna have to figure this out. Get on a bus and head down to Villanova, who's pretty talented.
Coach, James Philbin had another multi-goal game, 2 goals for him, 6 goals total on the weekend. How does it feel having another graduate student back starting at midfield for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, Philly's just he's like B-Mac here. He's like this wonderful 5th-year guy that I don't know, the true freshmen, they don't even understand how valuable it is to have a guy like this in the locker room, right? You have 5 years under your belt and learn, and those guys are standing on the sidelines and they're watching him, and one day they could, one of those guys could end up being him. One of our freshman defensemen is getting a lesson. Same thing with our younger face-off guys, and certainly James Philbin. Philly's nicked up a little bit. We tried to limit his runs. I don't think you saw him a ton in the second half because we wanted to shut it down a little bit. We just never, B-Mac just, was talking before you guys got here. 8-6, 8-6, 8-6, 8-6. And then, finally, once we got it to like 10-6, then we started to, let's pull Philly and let's, play without him at this point in time so we can maybe just, rest him a little bit more.
Actually, Coach, I did take a notice towards that. I saw that you were inserting Ryan Sheridan, and then you were also going with guys like Donovan Rock and along with Griffin Turner. Can you talk to me about what those first years have been doing for the team, and what have they done to impress you?
Yeah, I mean, those 2 guys, and B-Mac plays against Donovan Rock every day in practice as a scout guy, and he's got talent. He's just young, right? And we're easing those guys into it. Griffin Turner played the first game he played, or first 2 games he played pretty well, and then now he's got, he's gripping his stick. We got to get him to relax a little bit. It's a big moment, no matter what. It's a, Division I lacrosse game is a big moment for a lot of these guys. And, but every time that we come off the field and those guys get some minutes, it's better for us, right? Those guys had another experience. And again, really no Philbin, no Lutfi, no Ardrey, no Oaks, right? We had a couple of guys that were banged up out there today, and no Dylan McIntosh. You're talking about probably 4 or 5 offensive starters that weren't out there today.
Brian, as that second quarter wore on, where St. John's couldn't get anything really towards the net, and they started running some of their second, third string guys, what did you notice them trying to do to get something past Gates, and how did you guys go about trying to stop them?
I noticed in the second half when we came out, we were talking about getting out to their hands and just being more aggressive, and they're going to get desperate at a point, so they started to skip balls and take more chances, and I think that we just held down as an entire unit and did really well in the second half, and it's a big step we took after the second half of LIU, letting in 11 goals, which should unacceptable, and then today holding them to nothing in the second half, which is awesome for the defense.
Coach T, you were talking about a lot of guys missing, and I noticed that I saw some action from Josiah Watson. Should we expect to see him more as the season progresses, and even when some of the hurt guys come back and they're playing?
Sure. So Richie Hickes is banged up, and you didn't see him out there today, right? And so there's just another one that we can add to the to the list. And so Jazzy Watson and Chris Barry, 2 guys that we like to run 4 short sticks all game long. It's almost like a midfield, and they play every run. So we need some legs there. And so Jazzy got a run, and again, we probably could have supported him more. He got beat for a goal down that left alley, down the Marciata end in the beginning, but we got to be able to slide to him, right? We got to be, especially in the beginning. He's a fabulous athlete. He's young. He's learning. Chris Barry, another wonderful person. The guys rally around him. He's literally just a sweetheart of a kid, and is going to be a hell of a player. For him to get a few minutes today to try to pull the weight of what we lost with Richie Hickes, it's great.
But no more questions at this time. This concludes today's post-game press conference. Coach, Brian, thank you.
Got it, guys. Thank you for your time.